What's up, everybody? Today we're here on the Europe server because today we're going to be taking a look at the Siege Battle Tournament, the top 20 guilds of the Europe server, what they're using for their siege defenses. Now, I'm kind of bummed out because I initially thought that we were going to be able to actually see the matches, like in RTA, how you can spectate the RTA matches. You'd be like, oh, that's what they're using to counter these defenses, and we can't actually see what people are bringing in for their offenses against these. We could just see like the map, the layout, what people have in what towers. And if you have not, we're going to see some stuff that you're going to be, if you haven't experienced G3 Siege, you may be a little bit surprised what you're going to see today, because it's basically the same towers over and over and over again. The same teams stacked over and over and over and over and over again. And you may be wondering, like, how do they have so many of these teams built? It's not that they have so many of these teams built, is that as soon as someone takes a tower, they restack those same defenses in another tower. And it's just the same toxic defenses over and over and over again. And basically that's how you get to G3 is when you're doing siege, your enemies aren't going to have enough counters to the same team over and over and over again. They're going to have maybe like 3-4 counters, and then at a certain point they're like, I ran out of stuff that I can actually hit this defense with. Like, if you can Lucian something, well, that's great, but how many Lucians do people have built? A lot of mid-game players are like, I got 1 Lucian, 2 Lucians, 3 Lucians, maybe 4 Lucians is stretching it. But if you see the same Lucianable defense 10 times, but it's the same defense, you're like, you ran out of Lucians after the first one, right? Anyway, so we're going to take a look, and that's kind of the disclaimer, is that you're going to see the same defense over and over and over again. And I feel like you're going to see a lot of Vigors, a lot of Skogels, a lot of Kamoons, a lot of Beast Riders as well on this server. I think the meta right now is Kamoon, Orion, Beast Rider, usually Savannah, but sometimes other Beast Riders as well. And then we're seeing, I think, Kamoon, Vigor, and Wind Tank X. I think Skogel, sometimes Triana's as well for towers as well, is kind of another meta team on this server. But I'm also curious to see in the other server. Hey, go, just show the battles. Okay. But I'm also curious to see if the other subsequent videos, like Korea server, Japan server, China server, are a little bit different, because I'm not too familiar with high-level G3 Siege on those. It's fairly similar, but I'm curious what actual teams we're going to see duplicated over and over and over on those servers. Anyway, let's get it started. We have 6 Ares already claimed victory. Teku, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, already claimed victory over New Era as well. So those are already moving on, but we can still see watch match. We can still see these 6. No, not 6. How did I get that wrong? We can still see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. We can say, oh, you know what? We can still see this this match from previously. Okay, that's why. Because we can see already 1 match. That was a landslide victory. Wow. That was not even close. That was pretty brutal. All right, let's see some of these defenses here. We're seeing, I think we're gonna see a lot of these two. I mean, it's just a tanky water unit, tanky fire unit, tanky wind unit threats in there as well. We got the Jeans. We got. I'm surprised the Clara is not being used actually in a in the 4-star bases, right? Oh, I already looked at that one. We're seeing. Here we go. Here's the start of the toxicity, and a lot of it is based on like 4-star defenses. Those are the ones you really. They can turn the tides. That's how you like win or lose sometimes, is these 4-star defenses, because not too many people have like usually a lot of good runes on a lot of various nat 5s, but like when it comes to 4-stars, like how many different 4-stars do you have runed up to tackle some of these defenses? Same exact team over and over and over again. That's kind of what I was talking about. And some more toxicity. Kamoon, Orion, Savannah, Kamoon, Orion, Savannah, Kamoon, Orion, Savannah, Kamoon, Orion, Savannah. The same thing stacked over and over and over again. This is why I don't do G3 Siege, because I actually did G3 Siege for a bit, and I'm like, this is so miserable. It's just so miserable. Because like the point is to frustrate. Oh, this is another one. I can't believe I forgot this. So Twins and Triana is another one. Or Twins Quadam sometimes, but I see Triana more nowadays. I mean, obviously, see more Triana nowadays. But you see, this player, Crown, even has 2 of the same defenses for his tower. Toxic, toxic, toxic. Oh, I can only see, oh, this is kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting that, actually. Glorious. I wasn't expecting that one. That's kind of odd. They don't have really... Actually, I was going to say they don't have any threat, any DPS there. But actually, the Triana could be on crit damage. So that could be the threat right there. Very similar. You see a lot of Orions. You see a lot of Claras. You see a lot of Laurens as well. But this is kind of the thing this week. It does change from like every week or two. It changes to a different meta because people are like, okay, as soon as they get good, as soon as people in like G3 players that you're fighting against get good at countering a certain like this defense, then it gets switched up and then the guilds get together like, okay, let's change it up to this defense. Let's change it up to this defense. We're going to keep stacking this defense this week. And then this way, our opponents are not ready for it. They're not gonna. They're gonna have a hard time dealing with it. So yeah, another move. Toxic, toxic, toxic. Same defense. Same defense. Is that the one? Yeah, yeah. It's literally the same towers. I'm clicking on different towers, but it looks like I'm clicking on the same tower over and over and over again. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. That's a, and this is the Beast Riders I was talking about. Double Beast Riders. Fast. A lot of DPS, a lot of threats. Beast Rider, Beast Rider, Beast Rider. Actually, I'm familiar with the Ciara, and then another like Ciara Orion Beast Rider, Ciara Lauren Beast Rider. I didn't know that people started to do the Ciara double Beast Riders now. You see also Ciara Barbara, and Perna. Look how toxic this is. This is like the most toxic nonsense. Oh my god. But look, they just stomped. They just stomped Aftermath Solus. So it's crazy. So what was that? We kind of went out of order, right? We saw Ares. They're an OP guild though, man. I wouldn't be surprised if because I know they're not in the top 4 right now, are they? No, if they were in the top 4, they would have gotten a bye to the next round or the round after that. So they're not in the top 4, but they're still a ridiculously OP guild. Let's take a look at some more. It's the same thing. It's the same. I mean, like, I'm laughing, but I'm not really that surprised. As I mentioned, hey, Molly, it's a little bit different. Okay, we found one different. Okay, we're seeing some more Trianas. How much you want to bet? This is gonna be like 80%. 80% of these bases that we see are gonna be the same exact thing. And this is how to make progress as a guild, working together, setting the same defenses, stacking the same defenses over and over and over and over and over again. Let's take a look. Again, the same thing, the same thing. You guys probably like, some mid-game players are like, how do they have so many Savannahs? This is not free-to-play players. They're not free-to-play players. They have Savannahs because they have Savannahs. Oh, and we see a different team. It's fairly similar to where the Yen used to be, but again, these things change. Like Yen was like a month ago, so now it's Galleon, Clara, and Miho. So you see the same defense stacked over and over and over again. But if you're not familiar with G3 Siege, look at this. This is a different tower even. It's a different tower, and we're seeing the Skoglitos. But that's the thing. It's not even about just like one guild member having that tower or having that team in a tower. It's about the whole guild having crazy amounts of the same exact team. That's what makes it so toxic, and that's what makes it win so much. Because there's only a certain a different team. Wow. There's only a certain amount of counters that you really have for it. This is another not quite a CR Orion and whatever team, but super tanky, crit resist, and 2 revivers. So if you nuke something down, right, then you're still got that probably has a decent. We can actually see that. I was gonna say that probably has a decent win record, but at this level of siege, I'm kind of curious. You know, everyone's got things to beat everything, but yeah. Toxic, toxic, toxic. Same teams, same teams, same teams, same. Oh wait. I gotta try this now. I gotta try this. It's probably not, I got a couple wins. In G3, a couple wins is pretty solid. So, I'll take a couple wins in G3 over like 80% win rate in Fighter 3, right? So we'll see the, I mean, it's not the thing about like how many wins and losses. It's about how many times people can hit you and how many times people are just like not hitting you, avoiding your towers, right? Like I can't hit this team. Let me go find something else that I can hit, or wait for a guildmate that's like on they can hit more of this stuff. But yeah, same toxicity. Same toxicity. You guys like, oh, okay, so I know what's gonna happen for the rest of the entire video. Yeah, same toxicity. Let's see if we can find any other teams. But really, oh, it's a little bit different, this tower. A little bit different. But I really, like, want to drive it home to, like, show you guys, like, this is the toxicity of G3 Siege. This is it. Hitting the same. It's not fun. It's not creative. It's not original. It's not anything. It's hitting the same defense. It's stacking the same defense over and over and over again and trying to counter whatever meta defense there is 9,000 times. This is a little bit different of a defense. Makes sense though. Speed lead, AoE strip, and then control, and then nuke. This is a different one. I don't feel like this one's gonna do too well. Yeah. I don't feel like that one's going to do too well there. That's a fairly standard. I feel like a lot of people know how to beat that for like a long time now, right? I mean, it is someone that's at some point gotten Guardian because the Perna skin. Oh, I just took a look at a tower that was already. Yep. I took a look at a tower that was already that we already took a look at. Another thing, when you're trying to think, if you're like trying to do siege against one of these guilds like this, and you don't have the craziest rune quality, you can take a look at the transmogs and the wings on all the different units and the auras on the different units, and that can kind of tell you, number one, the transmogs can tell you how much a player is willing to spend, and if they're willing to spend on transmogs, a lot of time they're willing to spend on rune packs and re-apps, so they have probably generally higher efficiency on things than someone that's like doesn't have the transmogs on things, that doesn't have the runes, and not the runes, doesn't have the transmogs, doesn't have the wings. Although another layer of trickery is they could just do this on purpose and not have any transmogs, and not have any wings, and not have any auras or anything, just so that it seems easy, and then you come in and you're like, oh my god, this was even harder than I realized. But just a general rule of thumb, like if they have less auras and transmogs and things, even with the same defense, you usually find that the rune quality is less crazy if they have less of the visual shenanigans going on. The visual shenanigans. Bagel, can we quote you on that? I think we already took a look at that tower. Anyway, let's go to, we have this Contra versus NACO. Let's go take a look at Doubt versus Peace. I'm not surprised. Doubt is a crazy guild. I'm way more familiar with Doubt than Peace. Doubt has some really crazy players in it. Let's take a look at some of the towers here. Wow, the same towers. I'm so shocked, guys. Are you shocked? Wait. This one, but it was beaten. All right. This is at least a little bit more interesting. But yeah, that's why you gotta have stack the same toxic defenses if you want to win. And another Twins, and another Savannah. Oh, there's some Giannas and Mashas. Don't you love it when multiple players have the same? This one's interesting though. I feel like that one probably doesn't do too. No, it does do well. Okay. Or at least well in these two. It's not a really big sample size, but at least it did well in 2 battles. So I'm sure it's ridiculously blazing fast. Probably faster than they expected. Again, same thing. Ciara, Ryan, Miho. So that's a little bit different. I mean, I'm not saying it's very different. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. A little bit different here too. Kamoon, Orion, and Ritesh, but you see it stacked over and over and over again. And if you see like 2 weeks from now, it's gonna be a different story. It's gonna be like probably Kamoon, Orion, and then another different unit, or Kamoon and or like Galleon, Clara, and I don't know, Galleon, Clara, Lucas or something, or some weird like LD 4-star, right? For that. Or we're gonna see, or maybe like a lighter dark Rakshasa or something like that. They'll just change it up a little bit, and they'll have tons of towers stacked on there. And remember, like you don't have to have like 9 million, even though the towers Oh, this one's different. Even though the towers are... This is... How fast are these units to actually be successful at this over here? Because there's beneficial effects, but you can still outspeed this. I'm sure the vigor is crazy fast, but that's still... it doesn't seem that that threatening there. I feel like I would actually... This one I would like to hit, actually. I would definitely hit that one. That's probably a swift Chiwu, actually. So, and that's a fairly standard one. But this defense, this tower is a little bit odd because it's not just the same thing stacked over and over and over again. We already saw that tower. Let's go see another one. We already saw Ares. We'll see this one. So they already stomped through everything, 22-2. Did pretty aggressively, right? So we're seeing again the same. Oh, a little bit different. A little bit different. We're seeing the same thing though here. But you guys can kind of take a look at, like, I know you guys are already like disgusted. You're like, I can't even believe, why does Comtois let them do this? Now you see why there's no G3 Siege. Although this is kind of different. This is kind of different. Orion, Perna, and Tyrannus, kind of different. I saw, what else did I see earlier? Not here. Not here. And this is fairly common. You see this even in lower levels. You don't see it quite stacked in like mid-game guilds as much as you do here, like with the same towers over and over and over again. But because at some point, like, you have like 3 counters to this, maybe, not like 45 counters, not like 10 counters to it. You know what I mean? Interesting. I would definitely hit this one. But I mean, it's definitely a Guardian player. But let's see. No, I would Geonic user. A little bit different there. Orion leader. I think did we take a look at that base? I don't know if we took a look at that base. I mean, these have no defense for me. I don't even know why I'm clicking on them. So this is a little different because there's a couple mixed teams in there. But again, same thing. A little bit different here. Let's see how their win rates over here are. I don't feel like this is very threatening though. I feel like that's again, same thing with that. That's interesting. He's got a strip. So I'm not sure how fast they would be over here. Kind of a little bit interesting. I feel like I would definitely want to hit. I would try to be a good guildmate, and I would try to hit like the Kamoon, Skogul, Vigors as much as I possibly could first. And then like whenever I was like, I can't find enough units in my box to fix to hit those anymore, I would come to this tower. I'd be like, okay, I'll hit these guys now. I'll hit these guys because that one seems a little bit. Oh, you know what? You know what the deal with that one is? Let's go back there. They were. Let me explain this tower. They had pushed so much that they ran out of defenses. That's why those are in that tower, because it's like, yeah, we already won. We're just gonna put some defenses that are not complete garbage. We're gonna put some defenses there, but that was not their initial. That's not one of their core defense teams, core towers. Yeah, and then this one, another one. This is another one where it's like they're not bad defenses, but that wasn't one of their. That wasn't their core unit that they wanted to use there. That was just like, we're taking too much towers, we're winning too much. That's the downside of winning too much, is you run out of the premium defenses for whatever the time is currently. Let's see this one. Not Squad 0, it's the Quad 0. And I'm pretty positive we're gonna see the same exact defenses. Yep. Same exact defenses, same exact defenses, same exact. It's just gonna be the same thing for the rest of the video. I'm curious if the other, because I've seen some Asia gameplay of G3 Legend quality Asia matches. It's a little bit different. Oh, this is a little bit different. And this is not like they ran out of wait a second. Why is that here? I don't know why that's here. Yeah, I don't know why that one's there. That's a little bit odd. Dark Dice Magician. That's gonna be next week's meta, is Dark Dice Magician. There you go. Right there. He does basically kind of ignore defense damage. It's just random. So it's a little bit odd to see him there. I did not realize that that was it's getting some wins though. It's getting some wins, but it's all about being fast and being very rune efficient. So that's really cool to see that this is actually a little bit different. Very nice. I'm just anything that's not Kamoon Orion Savannah, anything that's not Kamoon Skogel Vigor. Right? And then okay, so this is a little bit different. This is actually a team that I built on. Was it this specific team? I think this was actually this specific team is the double boomerangs, and because she's got a speed lead. That's basically what she's for. Speed lead, Swift Clara, and she's got good AI, right, to strip and stun. And then this girl, she's going to do some defense breaks, AoE defense breaks, and some more stuns. And then she comes in, she does some damage. And she also increases the harmful effect rates. Yep. So, there you go. There you go. This is similar, but using Belita. Right? But this is basically... It's basically there for like how Galleon has the speed lead and then the defense break and also the attack buff. But speed lead and then it goes with the Clara. A little bit different. That's the same tower that I clicked on again. And then what else do we see here? We see some more twins. We see some more Savannahs. I think we saw this. Did we see this one earlier? Those aren't like premium defenses though. I think I used this team before. At some point. Yeah, I don't really see these as being the premium defenses though. Because it's kind of easy to beat those. But it's, and here's the thing, it's like, again, it's like, it's easy to beat all these different defenses, but when you see them 30 times, it's like, when you see them that many times, that's kind of the hard part. Or not kind of the hard part, that is absolutely the hard part. And that's why any guilds that abuse the mechanics of the system to its maximum potential are the guilds that will shine the most. So this is a little bit different. It's not bad. It's kind of like Bruiser, and then this is way it's units that a lot of people that use Bruisers in RTA have those built. And again, Galleon, Clara, Miho. And we can't see a lot of the other towers that are that don't have attacks on them. Like we need to actually see the little crossed swords to actually be able to see the towers. And again. Same teams. Same teams. Very, 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 very similar. All the way across. And then we have Yggdrasil and Ravnica. Ooh, different towers. Okay. I'm curious how that one's gonna. Oh, never mind. Different towers. Just a little bit of different towers. Okay, so they're going kind of with the old school. This is like 2 weeks ago meta, man. A little bit of a mixed towers here on some of these bases. And again, a bunch of toxic twins. And it's not really as toxic. Just fighting one of them is, again, you know what I'm gonna say. Just toxic fighting them over and over and over and over. This is a little bit different. I feel like, oh, this is kind of an older meta team. I haven't seen that too much in a while, actually. But yeah, anything. If your guild stacks anything a ridiculous amount, maybe not anything, maybe not anything. If your guild stacks a decent defense a ridiculous amount, you're gonna see the win rate go way up. As far as like guild siege in general. Praha Savannah. Ooh. I like this one. You know why I like this one? I actually use this on the China server. This defense, right? It's not getting a whole lot of wins, but it's still a decent defense. It's similar to the like CR Orion Perna, kind of, because you have this. He does attack gauge reduction. He does a stun. He's got a speed lead. He works well with Orion, and then you have this does big fire threat that also prevents her own death, right? Because she dismounts. So I actually like that. I like that defense. I know Orion is still kind of easy to counter, but I see him ragdoll. So some different stuff, a little bit different. All right, let's take a look at the last one, I believe. Oh my God, the last one, God's Army and Wrath of Blood. Is this I wonder if this is from the original. Wow, this was already game. Was it? Did they just? Maybe they just won. But I wonder if that's from the original Wrath guild, because there was a guild on this server called Wrath back in the day. We got Speed Lead Savannah and Savannah Masha. More Beast Riders, more Beast Riders, more Beast Riders. And we see Twins and Triana. Twins and Huadam, which is why I mentioned before that Twins and Huadam also, but you don't see it as much. This one is a little bit of an older defense. Older defenses. And this is in Wrath. No. Yeah, that was a Wrath tower. Yeah, it's older defenses. Seeing some more meta ones. And we're seeing some Mihos. And we're seeing... Oh, you know what? Here's, again, the same thing. I'm just going to say the same thing before. They ran out of defenses at a point. That's why they're using some of the older defenses, because they ran out of defenses. So they're not using the as toxic defenses. Yep, and a bunch of tanky nonsense. I already looked at that one. Let's take a look at some God's Army ones. Some more Ciara Iris, and yeah, I may want to try that actually. I'm going to try that one. Toxic nonsense. Oh, you know what? It's kind of nice seeing something a little bit different. Basically just... So a nice thing about Louise is actually not bad for Guild Wars, Guild Siege, because she has this crazy leader skill, 44%, which is nice against burst DPS units, right? So 44% plus she's got a shield, plus you can put shield runes as well on the team, like on Louise or whatever. I'm wondering if they're running shield on at least her, or maybe some other stuff too. But it's just so much tankiness. It's so much tankiness that they can withstand a blast. This actually, I remember back in high-level Siege when my first guild was doing high-level Siege, we had a problem with the Louise. Like, we were kept spamming attacks on her. We're like, it was Louise, Molong, and Kumar, right? And they were so ridiculously tanky. We're like, we can't kill these things. And they were, you know, if you can't burst them down, they start to violent proc and then nonsense happens. But like, this has got so much insane amount of HP that it's unbelievable. It's like, it was just like obscene amounts of HP. But yeah, that's why it's pretty toxic to have her leadership. I mean, you can still control that pretty easily, but bursting it down is kind of an issue, right? So as long as you're willing to take your time, it's a little bit of an easier thing. And we took a look at those towers too, didn't we? And again, some of the same stuff. And this is the last one, isn't it? I think that's a tower that I'm just taking a look at again. I just want to make sure that I show all the different things. And some more tankiness, right? Tanky Molong and I was gonna say Viva Harmonia, not Vivachel. But anyway, that is the top guilds for Europe server. Those are I wonder if they're gonna switch them up a little bit to something different when it's not showing. It's actually not showing the match being won. The Wrath and God's Army one. This is 20,000 points, but it's actually not showing it on the board right over here, where it should be. Where it should be showing the win. But anyway, that's it for this. For this one, we got to see the Siege meta. I kind of explained like it already at the beginning of the video. Like, we're gonna see a lot of this and this and this and this, and it was a lot of that and that and that and that, with some older ones thrown in whenever they ran out of the more meta defenses, right? So anyway, like the Wind Monkey and Harmonia and Theomars and stuff like that. That's when you say like, okay, they're starting to run out of the newer defenses. So we're gonna take a look at the Korea, Japan, China, Asia in subsequent videos, because it's not currently, I can't take a look at that right now. Plus the video's already been forever long, but at least we got to see. Maybe you could have made this video 3 minutes long because it's the same defense 400 times. I bet it was actually, if you count, I bet it was actually 400 times that Vigor Skogel and Kamoon, I want to say that was at least 200 times, right? Or is it my imagination? I feel like we saw at least 200 times. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see. Is it toxic though, right? Am I right? I will see you as always in the next one.